It's been a little bit more than an entire year since I've made a total drama video. So you know what that means. Let's shoot for 2! I've honestly always wanted to make a few more videos on the series, I just didn't know when or where to start again. And as you could probably guess, those, including myself, who would regularly cover TD, found it harder and harder to talk about the series as each week passes, considering that we've talked about almost everything there could be twice in some regards. Anything worthwhile or new to talk about for Total Drama is rather scarce nowadays. So much so that the main feed for entertainment on YouTube is just uploading clips of the series with text plastered on the screen every other second. I don't hate these videos or the people who make them, but that should tell you how dull things have gotten. But as for me and my friends like to say when describing some time passing, it's been a brick. And for others and myself, have hit a brick wall. And speaking of bricks, that's the character I'm covering this time. Brick the Dramatic Soldier. There are more or less 2 reasons why I chose this character. I'll get to the second reason later, but for now, 10 hut! It's time to talk about the man who never gives up no matter what happens to him. Brick is a very fun character, definitely acting as the comedic relief for most of Revenge. Revenge of the Island is a season that definitely hits the ground running, which I really appreciate and something that doesn't really get talked about too often in terms of pacing. Even though it only has 13 episodes, they don't waste any time introducing the characters, what they're all about, interactions with others, how they act within challenges, all of that within the first 10 to 12 minutes. I understand why they did that. It's the 4th damn season, so we know the deal. We don't need to spend forever learning everyone's name, even if some of them are only going to be there for 3 to 5 episodes. And from the 7 episodes that Brick participated in, he makes every second count that he's on screen. It's the perfect amount. A young man with some military background, always trying to take charge as much as he can and prove himself. But 9 times out of 10 usually falls flat on his face and probably breaks an arm or 2 in the process. But that doesn't stop him. You would think someone who's always trying to take command but really can't back up what he says would be annoying. Hell, even when Revenge was still in production and all there was just the original character designs, he looks like a guy who would be irritating. And Mike over here looking like Shaggy, which a lot of people really like pointing out and telling me in the comments. Thank you. Don't do it here. Same with Cameron. I don't care. But Brick didn't turn out that way. He's surprisingly a guy who genuinely just wants to help others. He takes on a big brother type personality, or just a friend who's got your back. Now, due to him being a punching bag in most cases, he's also the type of guy who would stand up for you, get his ass beat, and that's that. But at least he stood up for you and tried to help. That's always miles better than most. We don't really know what happened in Brick's childhood for him to turn out this way, and I don't really mean to put it in that way, saying that he had an awful past or anything close to such. I don't know, but the fact that Dawn could read him like a fucking open book for 4-year-olds could probably suggest that he definitely wasn't the most popular in school or around town, which might have led him taking a liking to fashion to some degree and dreamed of going to school for fashion to get a degree. As the best video game lizard says,
"The fashion? Style? You're right. If I cannot dress him, I can certainly outsmart him. All is told through clothes."
So if you look cool, you gotta be cool, right? You know, all of that being an attempt of trying to find a new hobby of some kind besides just training, or if the military life doesn't really work out for him. Now, I'm not going to lie, he doesn't really have the drip, but if there's some way to improve style and drip, then I'm all for it. Good for him. All the more better than having the literal drips coming from his pants, and with Joe constantly making fun of him. Which is another thing I do like about Brick. His interactions with Joe are some of the best in Revenge. Both of them, mostly Brick, trying to one-up each other in some sort of physical test or challenge. And once again, Brick actually being more down-to-earth than he appears. He at least shows sportsmanship to Joe, and she almost doesn't know how to react to it. Almost. Only took her 4 seconds to realize that she can use that to her own benefit or against him. Besides continuously being made fun of or not taken seriously, he's got his own fears, which is explored about twice in the season. Everyone's tough to their own fears look back at them, and once darkness sets its sights, Brick flinches. Dark, spooky places and Brick don't really go well together, but he found a way to not technically conquer them, but survive. And within the same episode where most would have done nothing, he stuck to his own code, and helps, not the enemy from his point of view, but others who just need help. They call him Brick because he's tough as one, yet still has a soft heart. From him being the so-called term pain magnet of the season, to having little things that just give him a little bit more depth to him, great all-around character. Now, everything I've just said there was the first reason why I chose to make a video on him. He's honestly one of my favorites from Revenge, and probably one of my overall favorites in the series. Here's the second reason now. When I was thinking of videos to make for the series again, I really only had about 2 in mind, and I put up a post asking people what people would want to see. And the first comment I got was asking to see if I could make a real Tyler video. And I humbly declined, which led me to make this video instead. Because it made me realize that, well, to put it bluntly, Brick is just a better Tyler. Get ready, this is somewhat going to count as the Tyler video. Do not ask me for anything ever again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler!
My shoes!
Wicked wipeout, man!
For some characters, their actions clearly just speak for themselves, and in Tyler's case, what is he mostly known for? Yes, the comedic relief, and more notably, just the do to get hurt. And listen closely, I do not hate Tyler. He's fine, I like him. He's committed to his role well, and I laugh. Like, this dumbass trying to climb an electric fence and being committed to it. Awesome scene. However, besides him being a punching bag, physically and verbally sometimes, I honestly don't know what people are expecting me to extrapolate just from that. And before you say anything about Lindsay, I'm gonna stop you right there. You really can't tell me that there's something there when the relationship was treated like a literal joke and gag for most of the series, as well as the fact that they have as much chemistry as pouring water into more water. Nothing is really there. You're basically asking me to try and analyze a knock-knock joke. Not everything is that deep. Now, before you storm off in the comments with whatever you're about to say, I may have just said that Brick is a better version of Tyler. Why though? Well, from all the reasons I've just gone over. A comedic character that isn't subjected to only that, has good interactions with those around him, took charge in a bit of leadership position, so he was casted in the spotlight every now and then, but didn't hog it, is a good guy at heart and a bit of an underdog that you can kind of root for every now and then, and his best moments are with one of the antagonists within that season, and I mean actually interacting with them. It gives both Joe and Brick more depth to them, even to the tiniest degree. All of that from less than a dozen episodes, and better than the same thing over and over again with very little progress in comparison. And per through the rule of 3, let me stop you a third time and tell you that, yes, I'm aware of Tyler not really having any actual defining moments and pure character development in comparison from the first generation alone. Yeah, he has like 1 or 2 things from World Tour, like with him lifting up his whole team, but other than that, not much else. So yeah, he's wasted potential. You guys like that term, right? It's probably why he's so prominent within projects that have characters that follow in a similar pattern. But as for me, I usually form my videos from what we are given and not too often from what ifs. Cause really now, I don't know what you're able to give this guy that helps his character. And no, winning a season alone wouldn't exactly make him the perfect man. And I say that for the reason being that there have been winners throughout the series that are okay characters at best, and winning doesn't necessarily help their character arc, you could say. Both of these guys, Brick and Tyler, pretty much do the same thing from their generation. I just think that Brick has a little bit more to offer. However, once again, that doesn't mean that Tyler is bad. He's funny, that's it. That's what you wanted me to say, right? Brick being someone who always stands up for what he believes, forevermore trying his best for himself and for others around him. He's a good guy. Now I know I can touch upon the possibility of him originally being an All-Stars, but they switched up the cast or just left him and Anne-Maria out. Now, quite frankly, I also don't really know what more you could do with him similar to Tyler, because his ending, you could call it, was pretty solid actually. So there's not really much else you could do with him, and if anything, I don't think he would have lasted that long in All-Stars. I say that because Joe ruled over this dude with no problem and took advantage of his chivalrous and sportsmanlike attitude, and All-Stars was teeming with people who would have eaten him alive in the competition. I think he dodged a bullet there, so yeah. But yes, that is the video on Brick. Tune in next time where I talk about one of the more better characters within Pakuteo Island. Some of you probably know, some of you don't. You'll just have to look forward to it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know what to do with all the links that I provide and everything of the sort. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else you know what to do.